Eh bien, bonjour à toutes et à tous. Là, c'est un moment de détente, en plein milieu de votre journée. Voilà, un plaisir de vous présenter cette musique, un régal. Cette musique, je vais vous la présenter avec son compositeur, tout simplement. Alors déjà un plaisir de pouvoir vous faire cette première émission en direct avec l'un de mes invités. Il y en aura beaucoup à venir. Et puis, je dois m'en excuser pour tous ceux qui sont non francophones. Hélas ou heureusement, dans ces cas-là, pour ceux qui sont anglophones. Mon invité est anglophone, en tout cas, on va parler en anglais. Et avec la langue de Shakespeare, j'espère que certains vont soit se faire traduire, soit vont pouvoir nous écouter agréablement. Mais aussi découvrir la philosophie derrière cette musique. Comme vous avez pu le voir sur l'album, elle a été composée en 432 Hz. Et on peut ressentir cette profondeur, vraiment, vraiment très agréable. Alors je vais vous présenter mon invité. En commençant justement, et là je vais devoir m'en excuser pour ceux qui sont anglophones bien mieux que moi. Je vais devoir sortir mon French accent, comme on le dit. Alors c'est parti, et puis surtout un bon moment, et n'hésitez pas à vous faire traduire ou au moins à écouter ce fond de musique. Je vais vous lire justement la première phrase qu'on trouve sur le CD que vous écoutez actuellement, qui s'appelle Deep Meditation. Mon invité c'est Heinke Aussenegg. Et il a écrit, et je trouve que cette phrase est un bon début, une bonne introduction. Il a commencé en écrivant Deep meditation is a journey through sound and space. Find yourself a comfortable position to dive into deeper levels of awareness. Heinke, bonjour. Heinke, hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Yeah, really fine too. I show you now to everybody. Yeah, it is. It is you. How are you? I'm really happy to have you live in Curtin.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure because it's my chance. You have contacted me to send me your music, and I was really surprised for the first time because you were telling me, no, I really want to send you the CDs. And I'm saying, oh yeah, it's an old school man. And when I have received your music, it was a real deep meditation moment. And that's why it's a real pleasure to receive you, to talk about your music, about this meditation was for you something really important, as I can read in front of your CD, as the auditors have listened. It's something deep for you, the music. It's important. tell me more about your way of thinking about the music you made.
Yeah, it's as you said in the beginning, when you told me that I shall send you some music, and I sent you the CDs because of a special thing, because I believe that you have to listen to that stuff in a really good quality.
Exactly.
That's why I was making CDs again, because everyone started to make digital publishing, and I said, no, for these things I want to make a good quality CD with a good booklet, and that everyone can listen to it. And this was the idea, to make a CD again, because everyone said, don't make CDs because they don't sell anymore. But they sell, it's great, and my concept worked, and I started to make this first CD. You know it too, it's Pythagorean tunes, and this was the starting point from that journey in 432 hertz music for me. And the second CD, that is Deep Meditation, which is now the new one.
As you said, it was because you are a sound engineer, but it was like 6 or 7 years before you have approach and continue in 432. That's it? That's 6?
Yeah. So when I started to get in contact with this 432, it was just, you know, like a concept. I read it about in a context with this holy geometry thing. You know that?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I started to get deeper in it, and then I made normal music again, and so, but it came back from time to time. It came back to me, this 432 thing, as long till I said, yes, I have to retune my instruments and make music in this tuning.
So, what was the first approach when you I see you have approached the meditation? You have many instruments. You were interesting about antiques instruments and flutes, and how you have made your music deep like that. Why you have made your music deep like that?
It started with more a health thing, you know. It's just about being healthy and being in a good feeling and in a good mood, and then I recognized that my guitar, my acoustic guitar, when she was a little bit detuned, I liked it much more, and then I figured out it's more 432 tuning, and I said, just when I like it, there must be something with it or on it, and then I started experimenting and reading, and I've read so many articles in internet, but some of them were just, you know, some sugar on the cake, but it wasn't the cake. I just thought, I want to test it, and then I felt better with it, and I get in a better mood, and I liked it, and that's why I started to really work on this.
Yeah. So when you were talking about geometric, try to begin to explain to our auditors who have not listened to the other interviews I've made. We were talking about sacred geometry, about Pythagoras, about the relation between planets and the sphere music. But what is your approach? You were talking about Mozart, it's interesting. What is your way, your approach, yours? Because we know together many approach really scientific, you know, but I know it's maybe different for you. Try to explain it, please.
Yeah, I started with breathing techniques, and so I started with playing flutes again. With these flutes, I came back to a very early state when I started to make music, because I started with flute when I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
And so I got connected to the flutes and to the breathing, and it's making a state of awareness if you start with breathing techniques.
Yeah.
And with these flutes, I started my first song in 432.
Yeah.
I started just with the flute, just with breathing, and then I built the music around that. This was the really first beginning of a 432 recording. And the rhythm came from the breathing, and the tuning came from the flute, and it was tuned in 432 because I modified it a little bit because I started with that. And so I realized it made a different kind of music for me, because I did many stuff before and I made many tracks before, but I saw this is a difference. It was very different from everything I did before. And that was the main point where everything started for me. Not with the connections of planetary thing or, you know, just for me, it started with breathing in and out.
But different because you were really feel it? You were having a different feeling with your music? You were having like more inspiration, relax?
More relaxed, more focused, and more really open-minded, you know, just not in the other way. It was just more thinking and more keyboard and more notes. And with this, I saw it started in very different areas. I came back to feelings like when I was young and in the forest and sitting the whole day and watching the sky. More this, and I knew that many people are stressed today, and I thought to myself, they have to get this music to have a chance to relax when they come home from work. They relax more easily. And yeah, I was right. My wife is working at the doctor. She's having patients and working with feedback therapy, and she used my music, and everyone said, oh, this music is relaxing me. I have to have it. And then I said, okay, I make a CD that the people can have it at home to relax and to get in this feeling.
And because your wife is working as a doctor, have you thinking or have you tried to have like a healing view of music more than relax, maybe healing well for feelings and sure, so but maybe for the body? Do you have an approach like that?
It has many effects on the body too, because everything you know, we have a stress system in our body. So if you are always on a high stress level, you get sick. That's what it is. So Pythagoras, you know, the old Greek philosopher and mathematician, he was actually a healer. He was he saw it in a philosophy which is a whole. So everything is connected, not just mathematics or whatever. It's everything is a whole, and if there's something missing, it's not in a healthy state.
Mm-mm.
So that's the same with us. So if something is missing or something is out of balance, we are not healthy anymore.
Exact. That's why, you know, maybe we can and we need at the same time to talk about your last album from February of this year with clothes from Egypt. And as we know, Pythagoras were like Plato were clothes of Egyptian, and you know,
Yeah.
maybe
They all had it from the Egyptians and far before. You know,
yeah.
everything
Mm-hmm.
is a very old line of wisdom. So yeah, he had it from Egypt also. So it's
So
everything in this tradition. You know?
so we need to say it's more than relax, and maybe it's more than healing. Maybe it's the way of everything, as Pythagoras was said, because everything is number, it was said, etc. But music is like the expression we need to grow with, to improve, to exchange. We can see it now with internet. I think maybe with streaming and the video, audio, music is the thing is the most shared with internet the 25 years before. You know, music is so important. I think maybe I'm not at the good place as with the radio, but I think the music is the roots for many things. So
Yeah, maybe it's because it starts with breathing. One of the oldest instruments is the flute, and it starts with breathing. Breathing is life. Breathing is the starting of everything
yeah,
in
it's the
life. You
voice.
know,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing you do when you come out of your mother, it's breathing
Mm-hmm.
and screaming. It's like singing,
Yeah,
and this is very deep, and we are connected with it in a deep way. So it makes us really human when we listen to good music, live music, because music is life, love. This is all the same a little bit. It must come from the heart. It has to come from the heart and not from the brain.
exactly. So we need
This,
to have I need to say it like that and to listen like that. Life is love and love is life. So what can and how can you explain to the auditors every sounds we hear, because you cannot hear it now, but we are listening to the third track on your
okay.
CD, and we are now in Asia. We were with monks before with voice. How do you record the voices? How do you have the inspiration for this traditional instrument from Asia, etc.? Is it you who play everything, or maybe as an engineer you have recorded in studio? Tell me more about the construction. We are in Asia now.
Okay. So often I make ambiences for my music to get into a nature feeling. You know, this is what I really like. But I start mostly with flute and piano, sometimes guitars, because this is piano is my very long time instrument. I will can say it that way. I play it now since I'm 7, and I start with it to get an idea of the tuning and the way the harmonics way work. But you know, I'm just making pictures. I try to make pictures, sound pictures, and whatever it needs and wherever it leads me, because it's like painting. It's just, you know, you have a whiteboard and then you start with a color, and this color is leading you somewhere. And it's, for me, it's like an adventure. It's like going in a forest where I never have been before, and just see what comes. And then I hear something, and then I search for it, and then I get the next one, and the next one, and the next one. As long as the picture needs to be completed. That's, for me, I'm a very visual person in that way. You know, I make music, and it has to make pictures. If it doesn't have pictures, it's not, for me, interesting enough. And so that's the way I work.
Yeah.
And I can tell you some instruments which I use. I'm using virtual instruments, which are, you know, physical modeling instruments.
VST,
but and mix it up with real instruments.
Continue. I was said I have heard it in some songs. You use some VST instruments, and they are real now. Maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it was quite hard to have real good virtual instruments, but now it's crazy. You cannot really hear the difference, maybe when you are engineer of sound, but it's real. It's nice for that. But have you traveled in many countries for your inspiration too? Because to travel like that in Asia, what is your inspirations? Books or travels?
No, not. I was not a globetrotter, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just traveling in my mind. It's more in my mind and then in real. Yeah, I just get my inspirations by people. I'm living in Salzburg, and every summer we have this festival. It's a classical festival, but many people from all over the world are coming, and I like to talk to everyone who is coming from a distant area and bring me stories. And all those stories are made up in my mind, you know, to come back at the right time when I'm making music. Then this all comes together. And I'm not a globetrotter, but I'm traveling to time and space. There was one musician from Sun Ra. Do you know Sun Ra?
Sun Ra, yes, I know it. I have played
Sun Ra.
Yeah.
And he said, music is the fuel for traveling through space. So it's when I make music, I can go to any planet in this universe. I can really make a trip to places never known, and that's my traveling. I travel with music.
That's true. That's a real spaceship. A real spaceship.
Yeah, that's a real spaceship. And it's very fast.
And when you talk about Sun Ra, it is very high. This music is very high. It's a high trip.
Very high.
So
yes, I'm not saying that I'm doing this jazzy cool stuff, but I liked it. I saw them live on a jazz festival in Austria, and I liked them.
But that's why finally you do it in a different way. It's not the same style, but you are really deep. You have your own style. All your songs are really try to go deep inside, like this album was called Deep Meditation. But have you tried or have you seen to make different style of music, more energetic? Have you tried to do it in a different way?
Do you mean that I have other projects where I work in different ways, or
yeah,
what do you mean?
Other project less in meditation? Have you tried other styles? Because
I came from rock music originally.
Yeah. So try to
started
speak
with a reggae band.
Yeah.
When I was 16.
Yeah.
We started with a reggae band.
Tell me that the beginning of your music when you were 16 in reggae, like me, with dreadlocks, etc.
One of my friends, my best friend, actually, he's originally from Ghana.
Yeah.
And we were together in school, and we were neighbors. And one day we said, we have to make music, because we were big Bob Marley fans. And we liked Bob Marley with 15, 16. And so we said, we have to make a reggae band.
Yeah, for sure.
And we did it. We started with a reggae band.
Yeah.
And the first song we wrote were on a kitchen table, and we are just having a pencil, because we didn't have instruments. We just had I had a piano at home, but we didn't have a practitioner room with instruments, and so we just wrote the song down and we sang it, and we said it was 5 o'clock reggae, no time for tea. This was I remember this was the first song we wrote on a kitchen table, and then we made a text and we sang it, and then we get it together.
So you were at the piano, that's it? You were at the piano.
I was a piano man.
Yeah. And I don't remember, maybe it's the 5th one, or it was the second one, I don't remember.